Wings Flight of Hope serves our community by providing free air transportation for those who have severe medical needs. And I'm joined now by the founder, Joe DeMarco, and former flyer, Kylie Bukowski, with more information on how they're giving hope one flight at a time. Welcome, you two.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
Of course. Joe, tell us more about Wings Flights of Hope and how you got the inspiration to start this.
Well, Wings Flights of Hope provides free air transportation for patients and their families that need to travel for medical care. And even though we have great hospitals here in Buffalo and some people need to come to Buffalo, there isn't a hospital that specializes in everything, and that's where we come in. And I got hooked on the whole thing about 21 years ago. I was a little 2-year-old boy with cancer, and I was tagged along with another pilot. And as soon as we walked into the airport in New York, the mother just started crying. She said my son was born with a tumor, and now 2 years old, was on his spine. And the doctor told them no public transportation to get from Erie, Pennsylvania to New York.
Right.
And the mother was crying, the sister was crying, and I was like, wow, what a difference we made. So it gives you a real purpose to go somewhere. So if there's any pilots out there that go out and fly around in circles, they haven't flown in a while, this gives you a purpose, and it's a great feeling. And when you hear Kylie's story, this is one of the many beautiful hundreds of stories.
Yes, 21 years you've been around doing this. So plenty of stories, including yours. Kylie, tell us a little bit about how you were personally impacted by Wings Flight of Hope.
Yeah, so when I was 14, I was diagnosed with an aggressive sarcoma, which was in my stomach, and the care that I needed wasn't in Buffalo, so I needed to get to New York City as fast as possible. Again, no commercial airlines due to my immune system. So Joe came in and literally the next day flew me to New York City for my consultation and flew me home that same day, got me all ready for surgery, and I was in New York City the next week for surgery.
And this was around 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, this was when I was 14.
Okay, so what was it like for your family being able to have that experience of, you know, you're dealing with so much. I knew you were just a kid, but you understood the gravity of the situation that you were dealing with and the barriers that you faced not being able to take public transportation. Can you guys imagine what it would have been like if Joe hadn't been able to provide those flights for you?
Yeah, so I think my parents were just like in a bus, like they didn't know what to do. They were kind of like weighing all the options, and when we found out about Wings, you know, we were so grateful that an organization like this stepped in and helped me, and is a big reason I'm where I am today. So
yes. Joe, what are the qualifications for people to receive a flight?
For us to fly someone, you know, some people think we fly people that just can't afford. It has nothing to do with your means. It's like what she said, the travel, the risk of germs. Even if you're just going for a surgery somewhere, the last thing you want to do is be around a whole, you know, plane full of people, the germs that we're on. So to qualify, we needed a doctor's release saying it's okay to travel by air, because obviously we don't want to fly someone that shouldn't be flown.
Right.
And an appointment verification, so we know when they have to be there, what time, how long the appointment is, and then it goes into the system and a volunteer pilot sign up. That's one thing I'm so proud of, is all the pilots are volunteers. You know, Wings doesn't own any vehicles, no property. Everything we get in donations, and one thing we do run 100% on donations. We don't accept any money from anybody we fly.
Yeah.
Because we're not for hire, so it has to come from other, you know, family members or, you know, other community organizations.
Absolutely, which is absolutely an incredible part of what you do, because, again, these flights are saving lives. And I know that you had another story that you wanted to share.
Yeah, but before I tell you that story, like Kylie, we got reintroduced about 5 months ago or so, and my wife and I are walking in Tampa Airport. I get tapped on the shoulder. Hi, Mr. DeMarco. And I looked at her, and I couldn't recognize her. And I'm Kylie. And I said, well, that's what makes your day and makes everything we do worthwhile, seeing someone where she was and where she is now.
Yeah.
But Michael's story, he was 29 years old. He had problems and was misdiagnosed for a while. Well, he found out he had his colon cancer spread to his liver, stage 4. So we took him to New York, and they gave him hope, you know. So they put a pump in, and the pump put the chemo right in his tumor. And we flew him every other week for a year. Michael just celebrated 4 years cancer-free August 10th. So that's another story I like to tell. You know, we have great hospitals here, but people are doing different things. And Roswell might be doing something that's specific to a certain type of cancer. Someone else is doing something to clinical trials. So
right.
wherever they need to go and as many times they need to go. There's no limit, so we're there and we're providing the free flights and pretty much as germ-free as we can make it.
Absolutely. And again, the key word is free. These families don't have to pay anything to fly with you, but you can't do that without the support of community. So where can our viewers go to donate and support Wings Flights of Hope?
Well, our website is wingsflight.org. There's a donation button there. And, you know, we've been doing this for a long time. And I remember our first party, my wife said, we were expecting 300 or 400 people, and 1,200 people showed up. And my wife said, you know, there's a sign somewhere, City of Good Neighbors. And we're so blessed to be in Buffalo.
Yes.
This doesn't happen in other air charities that are in the Carolinas, that are in Boston, that are in New York, that are in Los Angeles. When they have a party, they don't get the people like we have come out. And I said, these are all just normal, general, I mean, not millionaires, are just coming out to support. And
Yes.
that's just so unique to our community. So we're really lucky to have that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for coming in and sharing your story of how you got started and where you are now. Viewers, we'd like to learn more, if you would like to learn more about the mission behind Wings Flights of Hope and get involved as well as donate, just visit wingsflight.org or call the number right there on your screen. This segment is sponsored by Wings Flights of Hope.